Ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to night number 2 of the Knapp Daddy Racing League here live from Kentucky Speedway. As always, up in the booth, my name is Hunter Foley, up here with my broadcast partners, Jonathan Smith and Baker Knapp, and we are excited to be bringing you a great night of racing here from Kentucky for the Engine 4 Coffee Company 225 here tonight. We've got our drivers out there finishing up their practice laps right now before we get over to qualifying. But before we get all of this started, let's make sure that we say thank you to our wonderful sponsors and get the bills paid. As you heard a little bit earlier, and as you'll hear throughout the season, this is the Knapp Daddy Cup Series. For those that don't know, you see the name on the YouTube channel, but Knapp Daddy Racing is made up of myself and John and named after our friend and partner Baker Knapp. Knapp Daddy Racing was founded just over a year ago as a iRacing design shop. Tried to become your one-stop shop for any and all things iRacing. So if you are looking for a new custom design or template for your next big race, be sure to head on over to our website at knappdaddyracing.com. Anything your heart desires in terms of custom designs or templates, we can get it for you over there. You can also check out all the free stuff that's available on the website. And even if you're not really into iRacing, but you just want to help support the boys, be sure to pick yourself up a t-shirt or a hat. We would very much appreciate it. You can find us here live every single Monday night for the Knapp Daddy Racing League. You can catch us over on Doghouse Racing TV, broadcasting for the Doghouse Racing League on Thursday nights. You can also catch us on all of our social media at Knapp Daddy Racing. We appreciate you all so much for being here. We appreciate these drivers for joining us for what is hopefully going to be an amazing season of racing and an amazing league. Be sure you leave a like on the stream if you haven't yet, and subscribe so you don't miss any of the action. And as always, leave a comment supporting your favorite drivers in the comments. We love reading them. They love hearing it. It is going to be a good night. But enough with the shameless self-promo there. On to our wonderful race sponsor here tonight, Engine 4 Coffee Company. Engine 4 Coffee is a firefighter-owned coffee company that cares just as much about where the coffee is coming from as they do about it tasting good. If you want a good cup of coffee in the morning and also like help supporting first responders, be sure to head on over to their brand new upcoming website at engine4coffee.com. You can also follow them on Instagram to catch all of the updates that they have coming up. I can speak from personal experience that it's very good coffee and you get to help support a good cause. Be sure to check them out. We appreciate Engine 4 Coffee Company very much for being our race sponsor here tonight at Kentucky. But with all that being said, I think we should probably about time for me to stop my yapping, turn it over to my broadcast partners to talk to us a little bit about Kentucky and what we're expecting to see tonight.
I think that would be me.
I believe it would.
Man, I'm excited to be back up here in the booth for week number 2 of the Knapp Daddy Racing League. Got some exciting action going to happen here. A lot of these drivers coming back for their second week. Got some new faces coming in. You saw Justin McMahon flash across your screen there, who took Monza in the preseason race. Didn't join us last week at Rockingham, but he is back and ready to rock tonight here at Kentucky. Kentucky's a fun track, man. A lot of different lines you can run here. I wouldn't be surprised to see somebody float a little bit higher as the night goes on. Track is currently closed down now. Can't really race here in real life anymore, but we still got it here in iRacing. But I think it's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of wide angles here at Kentucky that you have to try to take and manage those tires. But I'm going to shoot this over to Baker so he can give us a more track analysis on Kentucky.
Yeah, Kentucky is a very wide 1.5-mile track. And, you know, there's a lot more space to race in turn 3 and 4 than 1 and 2, but these drivers could be all over the place from the bottom to the top. There's a little bit of a little patch, I guess you could say, down in 1 and 2 and in 3 and 4 also. And you really want to get your tires on that patch for a little bit extra grip. But, again, it's a very, very temperature sensitive track. So if the sun comes out or is behind a cloud, these drivers will speed up or slow down kind of dependent on that temperature also. But again, there's a lot of space for these guys to pass, which is going to hopefully create a lot of great racing throughout the night.
Yeah, and speaking of weather, let's pull that up right now as we're coming in here. Showing 73-degree ambient temperature with 86-degree track temp. All these races in the Knapp Daddy Racing League are set to have a more suitable track conditions, I should say, so we can have some good racing here from start to finish. But going to be a little bit of humidity out, partly cloudy, so the cloud cover might come into play. Not a lot of wind that's going to push these cars around too much, but I think this is some great weather for some really good racing.
Yeah, that track temp is going to create a lot of grip. There's a ton of grip out there, but also that means someone might bite off a little bit more than they can chew. And we don't know, someone might, because there might be so much grip, you might get really tight on exit too, trying to get a little bit more. And someone might end up in the wall and ruin their day. That's something to watch out for today.
Well, while we are coming around here getting ready to wrap up practice, let's pull up your current standings boards for the Knapp Daddy Racing League after one race so far. As you can see on your screen, Jamie Horn out there in the lead, moving up 2 spots to be your leader for this week. Greg McConey in 2nd, Brandon Lopez 3rd, Zachary Baker in 4th, Tyler Millette in 5th, Steve Bonomo 6th, Kevin Tanko 7th, and Kirby Wainscott currently sitting in that P8 position in the points. Moving on down just a little bit through this list, Gary Armijo, Frank Marchese, the Italian Stallion. They got Daniel Wilkerson in 11th, Brandon Trush 12th, Thomas McLaughlin 13th, Barry Nelson 14th, Christian Morris 15th. Dagan Barnes, I know he's been putting in the practice time, looking for him to have a good run out here tonight. And then some of the last guys out here on the leaderboard. Bill Gentry not able to join us last week, or Just McMahon picked up the win at Monza plus some stage points, so he will get some bonus points to move him further up towards the playoffs. We are winding down with about 3 minutes left of practice. If you had to give me 2 or give me 3 keys to the race tonight, Baker, what would they be?
That's going to give them at Kentucky, but I would at least imagine until the first stage and probably a little bit after that.
Yeah, and I apologize, having some volume issues there. Got that fixed and straightened out, but these cars, I think we're at 65% capacity on the fuel tonight with 3 sets of tires, so that's going to get them about 65 laps worth of fuel, so they should be able to make it through the first stage Getting past that second stage, though, going to be a little bit more challenging. We're going to have to use a little bit of pit strategy to come into play. Some new rule changes after last week's little debacle at Rockingham. If a caution comes out within 3 laps of the stage, that will be the stage break. So this track specifically, after the leader has crossed lap 57, if a caution does come out, that will be the stage. If it's before, we will have a 1-lap shootout. The pit road will close 2 laps before the final lap, or 2 laps before the stage ends. So just to kind of break up some strategy there, but it looks like everybody's about to start bringing it into the pits now as we're getting done with practice, heading over to qualifying here. And Baker just gave us 3 key points. Hunter, if you could give us 1 key point for the night's race, what would it be?
I think when you're dealing with a big mile-and-a-halfer like Kentucky, especially when you have guys who are big fans of mile-and-a-half tracks, and then maybe some guys that it's not really their cup of tea, I think the key is going to be making sure you don't get involved if there does end up being any sort of caution or yellow flag. I would have to imagine we're probably going to see at least one here tonight, and when you can see kind of the trouble starting to form in front of you, just being able to get around it, being able to manage your tires like they were talking about earlier, and especially here where you do have those big wide turns. I mean, I know Baker was talking about it earlier, but keeping your nose clean is going to be huge. Any sort of dirty air out here, people coming across your bumper while you're trying to make a pass or make a move is really going to affect how the car moves.
Absolutely. There's going to be a lot of grip out here tonight, as well as Baker was saying with his track temp the way it is. There's a big wide turn coming out of turn 4. It's a lot wider than you think. You can start to get to the gas a little bit earlier. And I think as the run goes on, you might see that back end start to slip out just a little bit and the tires get worn. So that's something to definitely watch out for on that turn 4 exit. And also he's scraping this wall here is Frank Marchese, doing a beautiful job pulling it right up to the wall, using up as much track as possible to get his first qualifying lap done here.
I'm excited to see what these guys do in qualifying. Again, there were some really fast laps out there in practice, and a lot of guys did some really long runs. But I wonder if these times will be able to be backed up because of, again, like what I said about that cloud cover. We'll see if these guys can back up their practice times or if it's going to be just maybe a little bit off depending on when they ran their fastest lap in practice. And we already got a few guys out there with some good lap times already down.
I know we do have some kind of shuffling going on as well, as you're always going to have with these league races. You're going to have some guys joining in, some old friends, some new friends, and then you're also going to be missing a couple people. And we got Hunter Simpson in here tonight. Good to have him out here. Been able to see him race for quite a while now, so awesome to have him joining us tonight. And then I know tonight we are without a couple of our drivers. I believe Greg McConey is going to be out on vacation, and then we are also going to be missing Thomas McLaughlin due to some work needs. But other than that, we should still have a good field out there for you tonight. Hopefully get to see it keep growing as the time goes on.
Yeah, and I'm excited about Hunter Simpson being out here. That's going to be a big threat to Jamie Horn's run from last week. Hunter Simpson, a really good driver. I've drove with him and Jamie Horn, Steven Bonomo, actually most of these guys a lot before. And I know how talented they are. Hunter Simpson gives Jamie Horn a run for his money. And especially at tracks like Kentucky, he can do really well. And a matter of fact, if I'm going to make a pick for tonight, I'm picking Hunter Simpson to win it.
I like it. I like it.
Strong pick. Oh, look at Joe with this fast lap. Knocking off Jamie Horn from the pole. How about that?
With a big lap, too, by over
Yeah.
a tenth.
Trying to see if Hunter Simpson picks up anything on his second lap. I'm not sure if he will. But he does. But not quite enough to jump over Jamie Horn for second. So Hunter Simpson will stay in third currently with a few guys still left to qualify.
Checking the chat over here, got Brian Gibbons saying Trash Panda Auto Sports in the house. Still going to have some Trash Panda guys out here with us tonight, even with Greg McConey being out tonight. Got Frank Marchese out there in that number 24 machine. He's currently going to be 7th in the qualifying. We also got Mr. Zach Baker out there. He is currently going to be sitting in 6th place, I believe, in our qualifying. And then Joe Tardif coming out there and putting down a time in qualifying. One of the fastest times we've seen out there. Jamie Holm was able to get a little bit quicker than that during practice, but Joe Tardif, best qualifying time by a little bit over a 10th.
Looks like Zach Baker's going to pull it down right there. He's going to start P4 tonight. I have 3 guys that have not qualified yet, but I believe that qualifying is coming to an end here. Bill Gentry, Gary Armijo, Kinsley Smith. First time for Bill and Kinsley joining us for a points race, I should say. Bill was with us during the preseason race and had a miss last week. Told me that it was his, I'm going to get this wrong, I think it was his daughter's or granddaughter's first softball game or something like that, T-ball maybe. But so sorry he had to miss it, but he wasn't going to miss that for the world. I do not blame him 100%. Bit for that.
Not even a little bit. That's the good stuff, man. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But that is going to wrap up our qualifying, and we are going to kick it over to our warm-up here. These drivers are going to have 5 more minutes to try to put some laps down, get their last little bit of practice out here at Kentucky, and then we are going to get on to racing. Again, 150 laps here tonight at Kentucky Speedway with 1 stage break on lap 60.
Yeah, I think it'll go by a lot quicker than what you think, too, especially if this thing stays green with the track temp being like it is. Not as tough a track as Monza or Rockingham. So I think we might be able to keep it green a little bit longer, a lot more track to race on, a lot more lanes you can pick from at this track as well. It is a little bit bumpy on the front stretch, especially if you decide to cut that oval and go below the yellow line there, which is permitted at this track. But there are some bumps there. And see if Jamie Horn hits it here. You'll see him fly in the air for a second. He just missed it there.
You know, I'm excited to see some of these guys that had some really bad luck last week, hoping that they can have a much better run this week. Like Dagan Barnes, for example, for sure, and Brandon Trush. Those 2 guys definitely want to have a better week this week. And Brandon stayed out there. He kept fighting and stayed on the track for a long time last week. Many laps down, but he didn't give up. So I'm excited to see what he can do tonight. Hopefully have a much longer and a complete race on the track for both of those guys.
100%. Like John was just saying, Kentucky is going to be a little bit more, I would say a little bit easier than, it's definitely easier than Monza. Nothing compares to that. But definitely going to be a little bit easier, at least in my opinion, than Rockingham. So hopefully these guys can get out there and have a good time on a little bit bigger of a track. And it's sure to be a good night of racing. Definitely still some things you got to watch out for. Kentucky has its own set of quirks, but I think it should still be a really good night of racing. These guys are excited to get out there and go fast and get things going. Speaking of going fast, we got the Ocala Design Group in the comments saying, "Let's go, Joe, number 48." I think that might mean 45. I'm not sure which number we got, but they're pulling for Joe Tardif, who's going to be having a good start out there, qualifying in the 1st position.
I like that car a whole lot that Joe's driving too. He's got 48 on the car, but on your screen on the left-hand side, he's going to be showing 45 tonight. I'm not sure if that is something that we need to change in the admin. I'm not sure what number he's got requested, but we'll figure that out and get it sorted out by next week.
100%. And then again, thank you to everybody who's joining here with us. Knapp Daddy Cup Series, something a little bit newer to us. We've just really got this thing off the ground. Lots of people put in a lot of work. We put in a lot of work behind the scenes to make this thing happen. So shout out to everybody who made it all happen. We're excited to see where this thing goes throughout the rest of the year. We think we got a really fun schedule coming up for everybody. We do still have some spots available for sponsorship, both for the league and for a couple of our races that don't have a race sponsor yet. So if you are interested in something like that, please feel free to shoot us a message. We'd be very happy to have you. I try to do a good ad read. I don't know if it's really good or bad, but I really do try. So you'd have that going for you if you do decide to put down a sponsorship. And even if that's not something you're interested in, we appreciate you for being here and joining with us and using up some of your Monday night to be here, help support the new series, help support these drivers. We got 16 people out in the stream right now, which is awesome. Race hadn't even started yet, so there's plenty more action yet to come. We appreciate all of you for spending some of your Monday night here with us, and maybe turning this on instead of Monday Night Football means a lot, and the sacrifice that the drivers put in through their time, and everyone for tuning in and watching, it does not go unnoticed, and we really appreciate it very much.
Absolutely. We are about to wrap up our warm-up time here. Have you guys given me your picks yet for tonight?
I was waiting for you to ask.
Gotta
I'll
get it
go
in.
ahead and lead it off really quick. I'm gonna go with, I think Brandon Trush is gonna get himself a big top 3 finish tonight. I think he has a big bounce back. I think he's gonna like Kentucky a lot better. I think it's gonna be a good night for him. So top 3 finish for Brandon. And then you took Hunter Simpson already for the win. So for the rest of the top 3, I always hate picking when people have qualified well already because it feels like I'm cheating. But I am going to go with Jamie Horn to pull down the win tonight. I think him and Hunter Simpson are going to have a big battle. And then Joe Tardif. Never seen him race before at Kentucky, but big qualifying time out of him.
He definitely had a great lap. Well, for a second, I didn't think you were going to take Jamie Horn. And I was like, if you're going to leave me Jamie, I'll take Jamie. But you took Jamie, so I think you're right in saying that Jamie's going to be competing there for the win. But I'm going to go with Joe. You know, starting on the pole, put down a great lap as well in practice. He has some really good and consistent practice times. So I'm taking Joe to take home the win in his race here with us tonight. So I think Joe and Jamie, and I'm going to take Brandon Trush to make a good run from P6 all the way up to the top 3 at the end of this race too.
Well, if we're doing top 3, man, I'm not going with any of y'all's suggestions. I still got Hunter Simpson going to take the win here, but I think Just McMahon is going to get it done, and I'm looking for a big run out of Frank Marchese, Frank the Tank, the Italian Stallion, the man that can parallel park a train. I think he'll be up there in the top 3 battling at the end of the night.
And in the end, all of these guys are going to have a great competitive race. So it's fun. It's fun to make some picks, but I'm just excited to see all these guys go out here and race, have a great hard time, a lot of hard battles, and hopefully a ton of good, clean racing.
Absolutely. Well, starting off tonight on the front row, you have Joe Tardif and Jamie Horn right beside him. That second row is going to be made up of Hunter Simpson and Zachary Baker in 4th place. Then you're going to have Justin McMahon and Brandon Trush in 5th place and 6th place there. There's Brandon Trush. And then we're going to have Kirby Wayne Scott, Frank Marchese right behind them. Brandon Lopez, Dagan Barnes going to make up that next row. Steve Bonomo, Kinsley Smith. I think Gary Armijo and Bill Gentry are going to make up that last row there.
I'm excited to see this one, man. The pace car is coming off. We are getting ready for green flag racing here at Kentucky. Pace car makes that hard left turn. These guys are all stacked up. They're ready to get this thing going. They are entering the restart zone. The green flag is in the air. First lap of the Engine 4 Coffee Company 225 here at Kentucky. We are underway.
Immediately, Jamie Horn got a great launch right there on that start. Moving into the lead.
Got some guys tapping the wall in the back. It looked like that top lane got a little bit squirrely on that initial go. Had to check up a little bit, but it looks like everyone's got the wheels back under them and they're back racing.
And a much cleaner start than last week. Love to see it.
Much cleaner start than last week, but I think that's going to be one of the things to watch out for as well, especially if we do end up having a caution flag here or two, or especially even after our stage caution on lap 60. Being able to be quick off the restarts, especially at a track here like Kentucky where your tires are going to get eaten up so fast, is going to be very important. Jamie Horn's proved time and again how great he is at restarts. So it's going to be up to the rest of the field to see if they can have anything for him when those times do come around.
And a lot of strong battles back here at the back. Steve Manomo looking to possibly push it 3 wide. Decides not to. Brandon Lopez in front of him. Kirby Wayne Scott on the outside in that 10 car. Manomo's going to get the inside in that number 9 Cartoon Network car and take that spot away from Kirby Wayne Scott. Back here, I do have Gary Armijo.
Oh, big slide up at the top of the track. That was the number 3.
What a save as well. Wow.
That was an insanely good save. Justin McMahon getting a little bit loose on that high side. I mean, he slid that thing for about 100 yards. What a save for Justin.
We can take a look back at that. I think we can find something that might have caused him to get a little bit loose. Looking back, it looks like there might have been a tiny bit of contact back there too.
I'm trying to get it back to you, but
unfortunately, it looks like there was a. I'm seeing it that. Fortunately, Zach Baker may have gotten into the corner of Justin McMahon just a tiny bit.
I think that was a little bit of net code right there.
Yeah.
Either way, great save by Justin McMahon. Still in the race. Did lose some position there. He's fallen back to 13th, but still plenty of racing left to go as we're only rounding the track for lap number 6 here. Got Kathy Trush in the comments wishing Brandon in the number 23 car good luck and to have a great race. And then in reference to what I thought was a pretty heartfelt comment saying, thank you for joining us instead of maybe watching Monday Night Football. Brian Gibbons let me know, joke's on you, got Monday Night Football on the split screen. And then Kathy Trush saying, LOL her too, Monday Night Football, go Lions.
And I don't blame them either. And I know somebody that wishes they had a split screen on this iRacing machine here. It's Brandon Trush. Got the Detroit logo there on the side of his car. Guy has a car that is just doused in a lot of Detroit stuff. I've made a few cars for him now, and I always try to add a little touch of Detroit to it. But gotta assume he's a big Lions guy. His team's playing the Ravens tonight. I need St. Brown to score me at least 10 points so I can pick up a win in my fantasy league. So go Lions.
I need a lot from Jared Goff, and by a lot I mean even better than last week. So I'm not hoping for it. Now, if he does better than last week, then sign me up for fantasy MVP Jared Goff. But I think he might still have a good game. We gotta hope for a good game at least.
Well, somebody that's going to be tough to make a better week than last week. It's going to be Jamie Horn, who had a fantastic week at Rockingham, going wall to wall. Hope you loved the transition points there. Jamie Horn's just kind of taking it out again and running away with it right now. Joe Tarter trying to chase him down behind. Only down by about half a second, trying to keep up pace with him. I'm looking at the last times now, and I'll show them on the side of your screen here. Joe Tarter is pacing a little bit faster than Jamie Horn. So is Hunter Simpson. So is Brandon Trush. So is Steven Bonomo. So maybe Jamie Horn losing a little bit.
Maybe that, or maybe he's just saving a bit.
Jamie had been running a pretty consistent 30.9. Joe Tardif was actually in the 30.7s 2 laps before that. Gap closed a little bit last lap. Jamie ran a 30.91 and Joe Tardif ran a 30.86.
It's like Hunter Simpson's trying to go for a pass here.
He's got to be able to get it up to that bumper of Joe Tardif. He keeps looking to the inside. He knows where his lane is and where he wants to be. He's just got to get it up there just a little bit closer. Like you said, Brandon Trush back there gaining ground in that number 23 car as well. And Steven Bonomo, currently our biggest mover out on the track, started in 11th place. He is all the way up to 5th now as well.
You know, speaking of some big movers, looks like Kinsley Smith has moved up from 12th up to 8th right now. And Justin McMahon was the one that's going the opposite way, but again, we saw what happened to him, and a great save there. And Dagan Barnes has slipped back a little bit, running in P13 right now. So there's some movement happening around some of these positions. But yeah, Brandon Trush, Steven Bonomo was with the big moves, a lot of track position gained right there. And I'm interested to see if Justin McMahon can, even with, you know, maybe hurting his tires a little bit with that slide, can make up that track position maybe a little bit later in this run. We'll just have to wait and see.
Oh, 100%. I mean, he's already kind of picked up a couple positions back. He had fallen back there to 13th. He's back up in 11th now. He's gotten past Bill Gentry and Gary Armijo already. He's coming up on the bumper of Frank Marchese right here, so he's going to have another chance to gain it back a couple of positions. And Kirby Wainscott, still all of those positions going to be within about a half a second for him. He's already gotten back to the bumper of Frank Marchese here. He's going to be looking. Let's see, he was going to try to go inside, but he decided to bounce it out there at the last second.
I'm going to try and get a little crossover move on him here, maybe get to that inside here on exit, but I don't think he's going to have enough momentum. He might try and dive it in there. And he does.
Oh, he is. Good move by Justin McMahon. Great job by Frank Marchese to carry that momentum on the outside, though. Gets the position right back. Good racing by Frank Marchese. Really good race IQ out of both of those guys right there.
And Frank's going now after Kirby Wainscott. Look at that. What a clean pass, too, right there.
Oh, we've got Gary Armijo around, and he is down on the bottom of the track. Oh, he can't get it
still
back.
spinning.
Yeah, it's still spinning down there, so we're going to have to go ahead and get a caution here.
Oh, my goodness. Right up back in front of the track.
Me.
I wonder what happened to him here.
I'm gonna have to go back here and check and see what happened with Gary
Looks like
Armijo.
he and Dagan Barnes were battling with each other on lap 15 back here.
See if we can rewind this here a little bit to find out what exactly happened. This was way after the fact. Here, I mean, he was sliding across there. Looks like he came in just a little too hot there. Try to get out of that corner a little hot.
Unfortunately, going to catch up Dagan Barnes there. And is going to send Gary down into the grass. I think he was trying to get it back going, but going over that big bump there on the grass, I have to wonder if maybe something busted loose a little bit there, because it looked like he was having trouble getting the tires back under it.
Meanwhile, it looks like we have a lot of pit stops happening here. And a few guys that stayed out, so we'll see what's going on here.
It looks like Jamie Horn, Brandon Trush, Steven Bonomo, and Dagan Barnes are going to keep it out. That's going to be your top 4 drivers, and then leading them off of pit road is going to be Joe Tardif, followed by Hunter Simpson, Zach Baker, Brandon Lopez, Kinsley Smith, Frank Marchese, Kirby Wainscott, Justin McMahon, Bill Gentry and Gary Armijo just now bringing it off of pit road. But our first caution of the race tonight happening on lap 16.
I wonder if Dagan will be bringing it in this time.
He's got to. He's got a meatball flag, so he's got to come in
He's
soon.
getting a lot of damage. Yeah. Yeah, you can see the damage on that car. He's trying. He's trying to hang out there, but
He cannot hang out there. He will have to bring that car in. I'm not sure why he isn't, but he will be getting a meatball flag there, so he will have to bring it in or have a black.
Closed.
He's can still get in. Have they said anything over the mic?
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, that is going to make Jamie Horn your leader right now. Brandon Trush going to be on the inside of him. Joe Tardif back there in fourth place, and beside him on the inside row is going to be Steven Bonomo in third place behind Brandon Trush. So see who gets a good jump and a good push here. This pace car should dive off this time around. Yellow lights are off. Jamie Horn is going to be controlling the restart here. What a jump by Jamie Horn as he gets out there by himself. Brandon Trush gets around Joe Tardif. Tardif a little slow to get going. Steven Bonomo pulling right up to his bumper behind them. A battle between Hunter Simpson, Zach Baker. Brandon Lopez looking to the outside, trying to make it 3 wide. Not going to be able to do it. That's Kinsley Smith in that 15 car on the inside of Frank Marchese. Marchese comes up just a little bit in front of Bill Gentry. Gentry stays to the outside. Marchese's going to fall back in line to the bottom side. Kinsley Smith still making a good push around Brandon Lopez. Pulling right up to the bumper of Zachary Baker. I believe that's Bill Gentry on the outside, passing them both right now.
Yeah, Bill's making some good moves right now.
Bill is ready to go. Oh, we've seen it before.
Oh, he's taking it really high right here.
The high side can come into play a little bit, but you got to hit it just right. I'm not sure with these new tire models and fixed setups if that will work out, but
got a big battle there in third place.
Steven Bonomo has been climbing through this field like crazy. I mean, starting where he did to be running fourth right now is very impressive.
Hunter Simpson's going to try to look to the inside of Steve Bonomo. Decides not to. Bonomo right
Bonomo's
there on the corner.
Inside. It's hard to...
Right on the corner. He's at the door, not able to get any further than that. Simpson blinks a few times.
Wobbly right there. They're trying to hang on to it. Oh, they're going to take it 3 wide.
Kinsley Smith still making a push down the high side of Hunter Simpson, taking advantage of all this chaos in front of him.
Moving up, maybe even to fourth right now. Trying to take that away from Bonomo. You said it, the high side might come into play, and it looks like it might be happening right now.
That high side looks like it's really starting to get some momentum. You can almost kind of see it on the outside there forming around the car of Brandon Lopez right there in the number 5. I think like that whole top line was starting to form a line and starting to try to parade on around.
Justin McMahon, Frank Marchese looking to the outside, and Zachary Baker trying to push their way around.
And Justin McMahon now right back in this race as well after having that big slide and save there very early in the race. He's right back in the mix now. Everyone really bunched in together after that restart. You got Justin McMahon in 11th place, only 2.1 seconds back of the leader right now. Plenty of opportunity for people to make some moves here. About halfway to our stage break here. Some of these guys really starting to take it up high as well. Like, I mean, they're getting almost up to the wall there.
It kind of reminds me, not really, but kind of like Kansas almost, the way you can run the top side after a while.
Kinsley Smith, they're making a move to get around Joe Tardif there. That's going to be for 3rd place.
But I'm afraid I think the high side might burn some tires a little bit more.
You think?
I would think so, man. The way it is, the way how much force is pushing against your car as you're ripping that high side, it's got to be burning up that right side hard as you're going around those corners.
Well, something else to think about, too, is that we have a lot of our guys out front. I believe it was Jamie Horn, Brandon Trush, and I think it was it?
Bonomo stayed out also, I think.
I know it was Horn, Trush. I know Tardif brought it back down. But yeah. I think you might be right. It might have been Bonomo who didn't bring it down. So those guys are going to be running on the 30-lap old tires. I believe those other guys that brought it down did go ahead and get tires.
But, I mean, this has got to instill so much confidence in you that you're able to run up front as Brandon Trush, Jamie Horn, Steve Bonomo in 5th place on those old tires. You know, if you get to the end, this kind of gives you a better idea of what to do.
Oh, 100%. Especially we were talking about pre-race, how serious the tire wear was going to be and how much you can make your car fall off, but we're kind of seeing the opposite of that right now. I mean, Jamie Horn's still out there running 30.91 laps. Brendan Trush even less than that in the high 38s.
Oh, look at Stephen Bonomo here. Almost about to go 4 wide. Hunter Simpson on the inside.
That was a good save by everyone right there.
Yeah, and the 24
Here comes
cars
Bill,
use that to their advantage.
Look at Bill just climbing through the pack tonight.
Bill is on a tear right now. Started in 14th up to 5th place. He's going to be our biggest mover of the night so far.
Another big mover is Justin McMahon, making up for what happened earlier. He's getting back up there, back in the top 10 now. Right there in, I think, P7 now.
Yeah, and I would dare venture out and say that one of the reasons you're seeing these guys, some of them move up, is that the car is becoming a little more comfortable. I think the car might have been a little too tight to start this race. And now as those tires wear out just a little bit, you're able to kind of rotate the car a little bit more through the corners.
Yeah, it's interesting to see the older tires kind of hanging on a little bit better than some of the newer tires. Aside from Bonomo, unfortunately, who's starting to slip up and lose some of that track position that he gained so much of in that first run.
One of the things we talked about before that really kind of came to the forefront in not this most recent iRacing update, but the update before. It used to be the tire wear was very progressive. It would start 100% tire, and then as it would wear, it would just get slowly worse and worse. Oh, the 24 Frank Marchese and Bill Gentry almost getting together right there, having to cause a little check up there in the middle of the pack. But it used to be very progressive. It used to be, you know, they would just get worse as the race went on. Now, for a lot of these drivers, depending on how your car is set up, of course, but I mean, your tires, you're not really going to notice a whole lot of fall off until they're gone. And then you're going to notice a huge, steep drop off. But if you've put some practice laps down here and you kind of know when that cutoff point is, and you know how far you can push them, that's how you end up with guys like Jamie Horn and Brandon Trush. Jamie Horn has about a second of a lead on Brandon Trush right now. Then you got to go another almost about 0.7 of a second to get to Kinsley Smith, who's currently running in 3rd place, and he's on fresh tires.
Hunter Simpson looking to the inside of Justin McMahon. Not sure if he's going to have the run there. It seems like the low side is just getting a little slower as this run goes on. I'm kind of interested to see how that's going to play out over the span of multiple laps, but
Still have over 20 laps to get to the stage break. Again, it's a long race tonight. These guys got to survive through the night and then maybe make some adjustments to get your car better. I mean, within a fixed setup, there's not much you can do, but there's a little bit. Oh, Bill almost got into Frank the Tank right there.
Oh, Bill got into the wall a little bit as well, able to bring it back down off of it. Looks like he recovered well, but not a soft hit of the wall there.
Frank went from almost getting wrecked in turn 3 to trying to make the move down here in 1 and 2.
yeah, and we missed this pass. This happened right now. Joe Tardif falling back just a little bit since the start of this run. Frank Marchese trying to clear him. I don't think he's going to have him here on this turn. I think it might be another turn or two, but Frank's a little bit faster over the past few laps.
That is teammates battling for position right there, but lots of good clean racing going on right there. Justin McMahon starting to push it as well. He's right there behind him. He's got Bill Gentry right behind him, and Hunter Simpson looking to push his way back up to the top there as well. Everybody very, very close right there, all within about a half a second of each other.
Yeah, and it gets very frustrating riding side by side with somebody for multiple laps because you're not in your line, they're not in their line. And it just kind of throws things off a little bit. It makes you a little bit slower overall, but if I'm Frank and if I'm Joe, I'm not giving up that spot. Teammate or not, you can send me a text message later about it. We're racing, baby.
And then regarding our drivers who were involved in that caution, back there on lap 16, got Gary Armijo back out on the track. He is currently going to be sitting a lap down.
Thought Justin McMahon was going to split it 3 wide, but doesn't. Is able just to clear on the bottom side of Joe Tardif. Tardif's going to lose 2 spots there to Frank Marchese and Justin McMahon. Now Bill Gentry's threatening on the high side here. Look at this crossover Bill's about to pull off. What a move, Bill Gentry.
Looks like the low side might be coming back into play here a little bit too. You see Bill Gentry using that to rip around the 45 machine of Joe Tardif. Looks like Hunter Simpson's going to make that move as well. Steve Manomo waiting for his opening. Here's a move. We've got Jamie Horn bringing it down pit road.
Before we get there, I got to give Bill a little bit of love here for this move here. Looking high, flashes underneath. And then slides up in there. What a move. Got to give Bill some credit there on that one. That was nice. Jamie Horn down on pit road now at lap 42. Pit lane will close on lap 58 if this thing stays green that long.
Very curious to see how the strategy plays out for Jamie Horn here. I mean, he was still well out in front, was running really, really well. I believe he is going to lose at least 1 lap here. Brandon Trush was staying out, so he is going to lead a lap. But he is also going to be bringing it in and down pit road, which is going to give your race lead to Kinsley Smith.
These guys all stayed out under that caution.
Maybe they're trying to reverse the cycle back, figuring everyone else is going to pit on that lap 60 stage break. They're going to be willing to give up some position for the stage points to have a better race long run.
But you got to get back on the lead lap. Make that happen.
Got Brandon Trush down pit road alongside Steven Bonomo. That is going to give your race lead to Kensley Smith in that number 15 car. He's going to have Frank Marchese right behind him in second place. Justin McMahon now going to be back up in third place. Bill Gentry going to be sitting in fourth with Hunter Simpson looking to make a move. Joe Tardif looks like he's still losing some positions here as the number 5. Brandon Lopez has now gotten around him. He's got Zachary Baker back there looking to make a move as well.
You know, I'm trying to think about the strategy because I was under the impression that they could get about 65 laps on these cars. And I could be wrong, and then we might have to go back to the drawing board as race admins to figure out what our fuel calculations are, because if that's the case, they're just a little bit off, but it could just be a strategy play. Maybe if they are able to get at least 60 laps, this will push you around to lap 100. Everybody's going to have to pit at least one more time this race.
I mean, I love a good strategy play as much as the next guy, so being able to see if there's maybe some strategy going on here, I'm all about it. Makes for a good storyline. Very curious to see how it all ends up playing out here.
I do want to cut back over here to the leader, though. Hensley Smith, first line out with us with the Knapp Daddy Racing League. Got Frank Marchese right behind him. Justin McMahon in third place. Hunter Simpson in fourth. Were those my picks? Is that 2, 3, 4 my picks?
It would be 2, 3, 4, yes.
Yes.
In the wrong order, but yes.
Still a long way to go in this thing.
Still plenty of time left out here.
I guess it's like dog
I'm
racing,
really-
where you can make a slip to show and you got one to place. So whether they come in
Yeah.
first, second,
Yeah.
third, yeah.
Yeah.
I said that right. No, long way to go. Frank Marchese still out there. I would love to see Frank the Tank pick him up one. Had a lot of bad luck with some internet issues. I know there's a charity event going on to try to get him a new modem. I think they might have got that figured out over at the Trash Panda team. And look what you can do now. The man's got talent. Just give him the gear.
Just give him the gear.
I took a
Kensley
second
Smith's
to.
got-
So I took a second to try to figure out the strategy too, what they're doing. But everything I'm seeing too is about that 60 lap range. So I'm just as stumped as you are right now on their strategy play. So we'll be excited to hear what they're trying to do, or hopefully see it all come to fruition later in this race.
Fruition. I like that word.
Fruition, you know, the word of the night.
Well done. Well done on fruition.
That is a scholar right there.
We are starting to see some of these lap times slow down just a little bit from where we saw these guys pacing earlier on when we were looking at like Jamie Horn and Brandon Trush up there in the lead spots, putting down somewhere between about a 30.8 and right at a 31. We are officially over the 31 mark. Hensley Smith with a 31.105 last time. Frank Marchese putting under a 31 there. 30.946 for him last time by. Everyone's still running very, very close times, though. Hunter Simpson and Justin McMahon also getting it just a hair under 31 that last lap.
I'm very confused on the strategy. Jamie Horn's running a 32.12 right now. Am I looking at this right? Is that what you guys see too?
Negative, sir. See if we pull up the last lap times there. I had Jamie Horner ranking 31.79 that last lap. He might have had
Still,
a
I feel like that's
32.12.
very
I
much
mean,
a pacing spot.
yeah, that's a pretty well off pace right there, but he might be thinking long game here.
You never know. Either way, sure to be an exciting close to the races. We are approaching the end of our first stage here. Reminder, the caution will be thrown as the 10th place car crosses the line on lap 60 to make it lap 61. That is so we can properly evaluate the points. These drivers will be getting some bonus points for where they finish in the top 10 at the end of the stage. It will be 10 bonus points to whoever is in first place, 9 points for second place, 8 points for third place, and so and such forth. The math goes.
And you can see Jamie Horn here, man. He's saving fuel, hitting that clutch as he's going into the corners.
Wonder what Brandon Trush is doing as well. I know that's his teammate, so wonder what the plan is there as well.
I do know those guys are in a
Both of-
Discord lobby together, so that might be. I mean, he's not clutching it, but he's babying it.
Greg McConey in the comments. What did I miss? Missed one caution, but now we got some strategy going on out here. Definitely going to be very interesting to see how this thing closes out.
And we're approaching lap 58, so the pits will be closing until the end of the stage here.
And it looks like we got a little battle shaping up here for the lead as well. Coming here to the end of this stage. It's going to be interesting to see if these two guys can catch Kinsley and make a move right here. Justin McMahon, again, the big mover after everything that has happened up here, battling for the win of this stage, is incredible. What a save earlier, and what a run to finish the stage.
Also got some good racing back here. Brandon Lopez trying to get it around Bill Gentry for that 5th place spot. Get a few more points for the stage. Frank Marchese on a tear.
Oh, Kinsley's bringing it in after the pits are closed. Another interesting decision, to say the least. I wonder if these guys are closer on fuel than we thought.
It's like Frank is going to be bringing around, so our stage caution will come out as soon as Gary Armijo crosses the line there.
And there comes the end of the stage there. It's like the winner of stage 1 is going to go to Frank Marchese. It's like Justin McMahon's going to be in 2nd place. Hunter Simpson's going to get 3rd there. Bill Gentry 4. Brandon Lopez 5. Kirby Wayne Scott 6th. Zach Baker 7th. Joe Tardif in 8th. Kensley Smith in 9th. And Gary Armijo 10th.
Yeah, and I'm not really sure about what that was. If he just didn't have any fuel left, if he didn't know that the pits were closed.
Looks like another person's out of fuel. Looks like it must have been much closer on fuel than we thought.
It had to be
30
very close. I actually just heard Brandon Lopez come over the radio saying that he was having to help the 34 because the 34 was running out of fuel there at the end.
So these guys ran about maybe close to 40 laps. That's what it looks like on a tank.
It must have been super, super tight there on fuel to close this thing, this first stage out. So we got a lot of people heading down pit road here. So we have Bill Gentry down on pit road. We got Brandon Lopez. We have Hunter Simpson. We have Justin McMahon. We have Frank Marchese all coming down.
Simpson and Baker both missed their pit stop there. Had to back it up a little bit.
So Justin McMahon getting off of pit road with a good time, as well as Frank Marchese. There's Brandon Lopez getting off with a good time as well. Greg McConey in the comments again, cheering for Frank the Tank. I know Greg is out on vacation right now, but still in the comments, cheering on his Trash Panda Auto Sports teammates. Once again, thank you to everybody who's joining us tonight for this running of the Engine 4 Coffee Company 225 here at Kentucky. Got 19 people in the stream right now. That is awesome. Thank y'all so much for joining us. Thank you for supporting, liking, subscribing, commenting, all that stuff. We appreciate it very, very much. Once again, shout out to our race sponsor tonight again, Engine 4 Coffee Company. If you want to support a good coffee brand that makes a great product and helps support firefighters and first responders, be sure to head on over to their website, which will be reopening soon. I know they were just finishing up a website update. Be sure to head on over to their website. It's engine4coffeecompany.com. I drink the stuff every morning. I can attest to it being really good coffee, and you also get to support a really good cause. So be sure you check them out. And once again, thank you to them for being our race sponsor here tonight.
As we're taking a look at how all that strategy may have came together, I'm starting to think that they were all saving gas so they can try to be back on the strategy as everyone else. Saving that much fuel there at the end of that run for Jamie and for Brandon allowed them obviously to get back on the lead lap here, but now then they will have to try to make this run last this time so that they can try to pit with everyone else.
So how much fuel are we getting for a run?
Well, let's talk. We can talk about it after we get this restart here. See if anything happens here. These guys might have to save gas from the start of this restart now.
What a restart there for Justin McMahon, though. Good Lord, he took off like a rocket. Frank Marchese and Brandon Lopez battling it out for second and third right behind them. Kirby Wayne Scott, Hunter Simpson, and Joe Tardif going to be battling behind them.
Ooh.
A little close battle there for second.
I just saw this comment. Greg, I apologize. I said Trash Panda Motorsport. It is Trash Panda Autosport. That's an oopsie on my part. Nothing but the highest of professionalism and proper usage of the English language over here at Knapp Daddy Broadcasting. Just saw that number 15 car, Kensley Smith, drop to the back of the pack. That looked like it was on purpose.
You have a good battle happening back there between Hunter and Frank right now. Hunter's looking on that outside. Frank's trying to battle back on that inside right now. And it looks like Hunter Simpson's going to clear him and set his sights on Joe Tardif.
Yeah, that's the second or third time I've seen that tonight where someone's able to get a really good run going into entry there. They're able to get their nose down, get low on the track, but then someone was able to kind of get straightened back out a lot quicker on the high side, and they're able to get that straight line speed. Really good usage there of that straight line speed by Hunter Simpson.
No, another big climb is coming from Brandon Lopez going up here, trying to battle for the lead. Taking it to Justin McMahon. Look at Joe. Joe's now taking a big swing on this outside, trying to get some track position back after what he lost a little bit ago.
And he's going to try to use that high lane to get up there. He's got a really good run. Coming off that last exit, let's see if he's able to hold it here into entry. Really good entry by Joe Tardif.
I wonder if Joe was trying to save some fuel on that last run, and that's why he was falling back so much, because of how close it was. You know, after some recalculation, we're really able to see how close these guys were from the connecting that yellow to the end of the stage. It was close. As obviously we saw some people run out of fuel as Kinsley had to make that pit stop. But Joe is making up time for sure. Look at Joe. He's trying to get this lead away now too.
He's all the way up there to the bumper of Justin McMahon. He's looking for an opportunity to see if he can work around him there. Hadn't been able to figure it out just yet, but he is up there battling. Brandon Lopez sitting back there only a half a second back. Definitely in the mix for him as well. You got another car back there that's been moving forward a lot. That's Hunter Simpson in the 33. Frank the Tank Marchese sitting back there in that 24 machine as well.
And Joe's trying to make that move to the inside for the lead. But I don't know if it's going to work out for him. The inside's been strong for him, but a lot of the passes he was making was on the outside. And Justin McMahon, last time around, moved up to try to take that line away from him. As we see, he just did that as well out here in 1 and 2. Yeah, well, there's a good battle back in the back, too. Not really too far back, but Zach Baker, Bonomo, and Bill Gentry are battling pretty hard back here for 8th. Bonomo lost a lot of track position, too.
That was a good battle going on back there, though. It's like Kirby Wayne Scott's losing a little bit of position there as well. The 15 car, that's Kinsley Smith's going to be trying to work his way around him. That is not for position. Kinsley is a lap down right now. But we do still have some battles going on out there. Brandon Trush just moved up a position as well. He's going to be sitting in 10th. Steve Bonomo tried to put his foot on the gas. Checking back in on our leaders here, though. Joe Tardif now in the lead. Justin McMahon falling back to second. Hunter Simpson and Frank Marchese trying to use that outside to get around Brandon Lopez. That's going to push Brandon Lopez back to the 5th position, and Jamie Horn with a full head of steam. Coming in hot as well.
The big mover, though, with all of this has been Jamie Horn. He is definitely making up a lot of time. Even with this strategy play, I'm hoping for his sake that he saved enough fuel on that last run, obviously to get the wave around, and then hopefully enough to connect it with these leaders that just made this pit stop. He is definitely playing with a little bit of a handicap right now because it's going to be hard to connect from where he's at right now and stay connected with the leaders when it comes to pit stops. But he saved a lot of fuel at the end of the stage, so hopefully he will have a good shot at this still.
I mean, he was
As he's
proving, he was
making
proving
moves.
that whole first stage that just dominating fast speeds out there. But like we said, we'll find out in the post-race interviews or find out from the post-race Discord conversations what kind of the different strategy plays were. But either way, Jamie Horn obviously extremely fast out there and trying to put some of that speed back out there as he's climbing his way back up toward the lead. But Joe Tardif back up there in that first position. Really big night for Trash Panda Autosports as they now have 2 drivers inside the top 5. And Joe Tardif leading this thing right now. Got about a half a second lead on that number 3 car of Justin McMahon.
We went back to green on lap 65. So if you think about connecting this race, it's going to get really tight. It's going to be a fuel mileage race to the end here. These guys are pushing it to get right around that 40 lap range. It is right on it. And we went back green with a little bit more than connect that 40. So when we look at that 80-85 range, these guys are going to have to really save some of this fuel too. I don't know if it's going to happen on this last run or if it's going to have to happen right now. John, your pick, Hunter Simpson's starting to make it up through the field now too.
Hey, Simpson's tough, man. That guy is a competitor. And I have raced with him a few times out here at Kentucky Speedway. I know what he's about. I know what he can do out here. Another guy I know what's really about is Jamie Horn for one. Just McMahon, though, is what I was trying to get at. I've had many battles with Just McMahon at this track here. Not particularly in the next-gen cars and other series we race over there at Doghouse Racing League, the Gen 4 cars, sometimes the ARCA cars. We used to do the Xfinity and the trucks. Right now stuck on the ARCA cars, but these guys, most of these guys run an open setup league on Thursday nights at Doghouse Racing. You can check that out at Doghouse Racing TV, where you can catch me and Hunter. We broadcast that over on Doghouse Racing TV every Thursday night, starting at 7:45 Eastern. These guys are in their 3rd playoff race coming up this Thursday at Bristol, and it's going to be a good one. Jamie Horn is your points leader over there in that league, trying to hold on to it, but you also got, I believe, every guy that's in here from Doghouse is in the playoff race over there, so getting a little bit more time behind the wheel.
That's one of the cool things that's been kind of nice to see as we got this league started. So you got guys from all over the place from different leagues, just be able to mix up all this really great racing talent and kind of get it all into one spot. It's just been really, really fun to see. I know we had a little bit less turnout tonight because we got people that have, life stuff that they have to do, but still just get to enjoy really, really good racing. We only had that one caution. Really, really fun to watch. Big moves, lots of really different strategies here tonight. As you see Frank Marchese, like he's going up to the high side there. He's trying to get around Hunter Simpson, trying to catch on to that draft. Not really draft, but Justin McMahon doing a good job of punching through the air there for him. Trying to tag onto that and get around Hunter Simpson. And Jamie Horn not too far behind.
It's interesting to see how this line has moved up now too. A lot of people are kind of running that high line on entry of turn 1 and then trying to get to the bottom on exit. It's interesting to see how Frank's kind of been the one leading that change in lanes and getting the higher racing, and it's working for him. Obviously, he moved up to P3 and taking a look at McMahon for second now too.
100%. And again, we had 14 cars start this race here tonight. You've currently got 12 cars out there on the lead lap. Gary Armijo and that number 8 car is going to be your last car on the lead lap. Kensley Smith is only 1 lap down. He's currently running in 13th. And Dagan Barnes, unfortunately, another short night for him out here tonight after that first incident. Meatballed that front right tire, and I think the repairs just might have been a little too much. good battle going on over here as well between Zach Baker and Bill Gentry. They're battling for just inside those top 10 spots. 8th and 9th battle going on right there. Brandon Trush not too far behind.
As
And
they're bringing it in a pitch.
strategy. Stephen Bonomo, Brandon Trush,
Jamie
and Jamie
Horn.
Horn.
Bringing
All
it
These
down.
were the
down
guys
pit
that stayed
road.
out. All of these were the guys that stayed out on that first stop.
You are
It's
right.
going to be very difficult for them to make it on this race. But they might have a strategy plan. Again, they got it to here. They're still going to be, they still have to make one more stop. All these leaders might be able to stretch it on one more also, which is where it gets a little bit tricky. But it's going to be difficult for everyone else to make it on one stop. But for sure for them, from here, they will make one more after this.
I don't know, man.
What are we
I think
calculating at this point?
if we're going off of 40 laps, that's going to be close.
I mean, there's no way they can get a. I mean, the Jamie Horn and them are going to have to at least come down one more time.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll have to
I
make
think
one
what
more
they're
stop for
thinking.
sure.
I think what they're thinking is that maybe the rest of these guys. We got Joe Tardif out there right now, Justin McMahon, Frank Marchese, Hunter Simpson. I think they're thinking that they might have to come down twice.
That's what I'm thinking. It's just McMahon trying to get to this inside, and Frank Marchese taking advantage. Whoa, a little tight there coming off. Good racing between the two guys. A lot of respect out of both each other. Going door to door, turn after turn. Hunter Simpson lurking, waiting to strike in 4th place there.
Lurking and waiting to strike. There's some action words for you. I like that.
Been watching a
Put
lot
that
of
in
2000s baseball broadcasts lately, and you want some good broadcasting tips, that is it.
But definitely going to be very interesting to see how that strategy ends up playing out for Jamie Horn, for Brandon Trush, and for Stephen Bonomo, as they are all going to be a lap down now at this point. They're going to be in 11th, 12th, and 13th, respectively. Kensley Smith going to be your first car a lap down. He's currently sitting in 10th. And then you got that big battle going on for our top 4 positions that you've been seeing for this last couple laps. Great battling going on out there. Joe Tardif able to still maintain that lead out there. His Trash Panda Auto Sports teammate Frank Marchese right there, having a heck of a battle with Justin McMahon in that 3 car. Hunter Simpson waiting for his opportunity. And you got Brandon Lopez and Bill Gentry sitting in 5th and 6th right now.
Look at McMahon here. Oh, he's not going to have enough of a run. It's going to be
You're
hard to
looking
get
at
in there.
We almost were looking 3 wide for the lead right there.
I think they were thinking about it there for a second, and what a hold by Justin McMahon down there on that low side.
He might have a run.
I wonder if
Frank Marchese any room to work there. Joe Tardif having to go down to the low side.
Like McMahon. I wonder if Joe's trying to back them up to try to save a little bit of fuel here. Oh! Almost had a save.
That's going to be a caution. That was such good racing out of the 2 of them for so long.
Well, this changes everything when it comes to strategy.
Yeah, this throws a monkey wrench in a lot of different strategies, and unfortunately throws a monkey wrench in the nights of Justin McMahon and Frank Marchese. Not sure what kind of damage Frank's going to have after that run right there. Looked like, unfortunately, Justin McMahon hit the wall pretty hard there. Gonna have to go back and check that one out.
Rolling back just a little bit here. Trying to get on top of these guys. Frank and Justin McMahon racing so hard for a while there. We see Justin in that 3 car kind of pulling up a little bit. I think he thought Frank was going to be a little bit higher than he was, and you can tell that Justin McMahon probably knew that was him coming up, so he tries to correct him. And I think Frank just got a little loose there at the very end. Justin McMahon hard into the wall. Frank Marchese keeping the grass low for us, our John Deere Green Award. he comes ripping through the grass.
Yeah,
Man.
it almost looks like they just kind of came together there too. You know.
It looks like pretty much everybody's going to bring it down.
Oh, we have someone doubling back out onto the track, it looks like. But an unfortunate way for the night to go for those two guys.
Zach Baker just did a very intense or interesting one of the two. I don't even know what kind of strategy play this is, but what it does is it doesn't allow Jamie Horn, Brandon Trush, or Steven Bonomo to get their lap back right now. By him staying out, by Zach Baker staying out, those three guys are going to be trapped on a lap down right here, at least.
I mean, Zach Baker's going to have to bring it back down at some point.
Yeah. At some point he will, but he might be just trying to connect it on this one stop. If he thinks this track position is so important, which it is, we've obviously seen the track position is important. And if he thinks he can stretch this to 120 or 110 range, he might be making it on one stop.
110 would be a push. I'm very curious to see how this will end up here. All sorts of strategies flying all over the place here tonight.
Yeah. Now these lap down guys are bringing it in.
And with that, now you have Jamie Horn, Brandon Trush, and Steven Bonomo bringing it back down.
Yeah. I mean, if I'm in their shoes,
right?
With their position, I mean, the only thing you're really looking at is maybe, I don't think you could stretch it to the end from here, but, you know, with the hand you're being dealt, you might be able to at least try to last a little bit longer here and, you know, hope that the people run out and make up some ground, but you're gonna have to save your fuel like crazy. So we might see these guys fall off pace a bit, but, you know, if you save that much fuel, you might be able to stretch it from here. But again, that is a huge stretch. 55 almost seems like you're climbing Mount Everest, honestly.
Oh, I don't think 55 is in the cards at all. I think you're right there. But yeah, just seeing all the different strategies kind of come into play tonight.
Yeah, I mean,
very, very interesting to see.
Yeah, he's not even going to be pushing it 55 laps. He's pushing it. If he tried, he's not going to make it to the end, but that's close to 90-some laps. If he goes off this around 40-ish pit cycle we've been seeing, he will have to pit on lap 102 to 106. And even then, that's going to be a stretch to the finish.
And here we go. The pace car is off. It has made the hard left turn. We are going to be restarting. This is lap number 97 here in the Engine 4 Coffee Company 225 at Kentucky. Good launch out of Zachary Baker. Joe Tardif trying to hang on up there at the high side. He's got Frank Marchese right behind him. Brandon Lopez, really good move on the low side. Able to get a good run as well.
I think you're about to see Jamie Horn drive a little angry to get here to the front.
Mm-hmm.
Jamie Horn's coming in hot there. He's on the low side of Bill Gentry as well. Joe Tardif and Brandon Lopez almost get together right there.
I was saying he might try to save fuel and stretch it to the end. He's not thinking that. He's thinking, I'm going to go get my lap back the hard way.
Look at that spend into entry by Jamie Horn. Put some of that speed to use. He is already back up there side by side with Hunter Simpson, trying to race his way back up to the front. Currently got Zachary Baker out there leading this thing. Still got a really good launch. Joe Tardif hasn't quite been able to pull up to the bumper just yet. Got Frank Marchese battling with Brandon Lopez. That's going to be for third place. Jamie Horn now side by side with Hunter Simpson. That's going to be for fifth place. Dagan Barnes in the comments was commenting on that last accident. Said, "Oh no, it was crazy how the lead pack was running away." Good to have him out here watching this thing with us and out of the care center. Braden Lopez trying to sneak into a spot there. That was close. Almost gets up into Hunter Simpson. Braden
So
Lopez
tight
just
right
to
there.
the high side. Jamie Horn able to get around. Keep in mind, that is not for position for Jamie Horn. He is still a lap down. He's in 10th position right now. Hunter Simpson going to be right there in front of Jamie Horn. 1, 2, 3 at the front.
A little tight battle here for the lead happening now too.
That's those Trash Panda Autosport guys. 1, 2, 3 out front between Zachary Baker, Joe Tardif, and Frank Marchese.
Oh, 3 wide.
They are 3 wide right now, and Hunter Simpson almost making it 4.
He is. There he goes.
All the way to the, what a battle, my God. Hunter Simpson all the way on the bottom of the track, goes around. Jamie Horn splits around Joe Tardif as well. Zachary Baker now falls behind as well. Now it is a race between Hunter Simpson and Frank Marchese.
I wonder if he's going to slide up in front of him. And, oh, he can't do it. So close to making that slide up in front of him.
What a run there by Hunter Simpson and Jamie Horn to get around there. Get around Joe Tardif and Zachary Baker there. Got around Brandon Lopez in that number 5 machine as well.
And talk about the opposite way of gaining ground. Zachary Baker has lost a ton of that track position on this whole this turnaround of events right here as Frank goes to the lead. Again, Zachary Baker's going to have to try to get 6 more laps out of this to connect it and make it on one stop. He might be able to, but we'll just have to wait and see if he can make it.
Greg McConey in the comments said he's doing his best Larry Mack crew chief impression since he's not behind the wheel. Said if it's 40 laps to a tank and went green at 65, he can go to 105 plus minus 5 with a yellow. And if he was saving, that makes it maybe 110, so he could have it on one stop. I think referring to his teammate Zachary Baker there.
He is really going to have to save a little bit coming through here because I'm not sure how much he was saving that first round. And I know he last pitted on lap 62 as we're riding along here with Zachary Baker to see just what's going on inside the cockpit there. Sounds like he's letting off a lot.
It looks like he might have gone into a little bit of a saving strategy there. He's falling back to the back of the pack there. Not off speed necessarily, but just definitely trying to sit there, kind of put some laps down, see what kind of comes in after this. But definitely a lot more excitement going on up there at the front. Frank Marchese still leads this thing. He's got Hunter Simpson diving down to the inside right now, trying to get around him. See if he's able to make that low side work. High side has been getting such a good exit here tonight. Frank Marchese able to clear him on that high side. That was a big blink from Hunter Simpson right there. Jamie Horn still sitting there. It's in that 3rd place spot, but he is still a lap down. He's got to either hope that the leader comes down or for a yellow flag, as he would be the first car a lap down.
And you got to think too that, oh, I just saw a big jump there. I think it's just the blink. Jamie Horn is in a group chat with Steven Bonomo, Brandon Trush, Hunter Simpson. So if Jamie Horn is able to clear the leader here, Brandon Trush would be the next man up to get their lap back should a caution come out. So I know Brandon Trush is cheering for Jamie Horn to get in front, get his lap back the hard way, and if caution does come out, Trush will be the lucky dog at this point.
And these guys were definitely saving some on this last run. These guys are running about a 2 to 3 tenths faster a lap this run than they were the last run. So the last run had a little bit of that fuel save happening. This time these guys are going all out.
What a race this has turned out to be. I mean, we've had speed, we've had people making crazy passes, and now we've got just a chess match going on out here on the track. What a good night for racing. Appreciate everybody once again for tuning in with us. We got 20 people out there in the stream right now. Make sure you keep us on the split screen with the Monday Night Football, because we are coming down to 40 to go here this next time by, and I'm sure it is just going to keep getting more fun.
Hunter Simpson looking inside again. Don't think that's going to work this time through.
I mean, Frank's been getting such a good run there. Good exit on that high side. We've seen it time and time again here tonight. That low side, you can really get that entry. You can pull up completely alongside somebody. But if you, as long as you know what you're doing on that high side, you're able to get that exit that you want. It's really hard for the low side to clear you.
And as we said, the number to connect, potentially, again, it's all potentials, but was 110, and Zachary Baker just brought his car down in the pits right now. So he connected the dots. Now we just got to see if his strategy pays off for him. You know, he's got to get out here and run some really fast laps on these fresh tires. But unfortunately, everyone else around him and in front of him has decently fresh tires as well. So if he has some clean air, we'll see what laps he can put down. And again, if he can stretch it to the end, which is a hopeful calculation at this point.
Again, we've seen some crazy strategies out here tonight. Zach Baker almost certainly good to go all the way until the end at this point. Gonna have some ground to make up, as it looks like he is going to go that lap down there. He is going to be sitting in 12th place as that shuffles out. Just going to have him a lap down behind Jamie Horn, Braden Trush, and Steven Bonomo. Very interesting to see how this will end up playing out, considering what everyone else's pit strategies has to be. If this stays green or if it doesn't stay green, lots of different factors going to come into play into how this thing's going to finish.
And that's kind of something we aimed for too when we were building out, both Greg McConey building out the schedule for us and setting these tire limits, and I was kind of walking through the fuel strategy of the night and changing some things on the fuel to try to make it a tight racing, a lot of strategic chess match racing, and I think we were pretty good on that. I think Greg did a fantastic job with the schedule. It's one of the better schedules I've ever seen. I know all the drivers really enjoy the schedule too. I think I may have messed up a little bit with the fuel calculation there, and it's something we'll definitely revisit. But I think so far tonight it's made for some very interesting racing, a lot of strategy play, and that's what we wanted. We wanted strategy. We didn't want to just go out here and send it for 20 laps and see what the tires will do. If that were the case, we would have made the races 20 laps long. But it's a long race. It's a strategy. Got to use both your talent, skill, and your brain a little bit to get around and win one of these races.
100%. I just heard some hollering on the radio. I don't know what it was about, but got a little jumbled in my ears, but I heard Brandon Trush coming over the radio there. Not sure if something happened. I didn't see anything, I don't think.
Joe Tardif still falling back just a little bit. Garrett Armijo trying to make a pass here on the inside. Not going to be able to clear this time. Armijo up 9 spots tonight. Nice little run for him. Moving back just a little bit to Kirby Wayne Scott. He's going to be the last car on the lead lap. Sitting P7, that number 10 machine. Looking for a good run here tonight. Had a pretty good one at Rockingham last week. Looking to build on top of that. That's a pretty sweet ride that he's got there as well.
Greg McConey agreeing with you in the comments, saying that y'all did a great job. We've still got that battle going on out in front between Frank Marchese and Hunter Simpson. Simpson looks like he might be blinking out just a little bit, but comes right back. Jamie Horn still sitting there in that 3rd place spot. But remember, he is still going to be a lap down at this point. Brandon Lopez actually going to be in 3rd place. Bill Gentry is going to be your 4th place driver right now. and Joe Tardif is going to be your current 5th place driver.
Yeah, it looks like Bill
Got
Gentry
Gary
was
Armijo
able to
in
get
the right
around.
spot there.
Gary Armijo trying to fight his way around, looking to the inside, hopefully getting a good run here. Seems like it's really hard to get a good run on that low side coming out of the corner, but he sends it down there into turn 3, washes up a little bit in front of Tardif. Going to punch it out really well. Hope he can hang on to it and not hit the wall. Tardif going to cross him over and take that spot right back from him. Going back up here to the front. Still just a fantastic battle between Hunter Simpson and Frank Marchese. Simpson now on the inside, looking like he might clear him.
Yeah, side-by-side racing now. This is the first time Hunter Simpson looks like he might be able to get clear. Again, using that low side to try to get around, but Frank Marchese just doing such a good job on the high side. Able to clear that space once again.
See if he cuts him off here. He does. We got to give this a name, man. This is the battle of the bandwidths.
Yes. Very,
The battle
very
of the
well
band.
said.
That's crazy. That is banana.
Hunter Simpson's a buddy of mine, always having some internet issues. We know Frank's a fast, talented driver. And a little bit of internet issues got in the way of him last season in a separate league, but these guys are figuring it out here tonight and giving us a show.
Yeah, really good racing once again. Just the battling that's been going on up front here tonight has been second to none. Speaking of battles, back toward that fourth and fifth spot. Wow, let's learn to speak here, Hunter. Got Gary Armijo up there battling. He's trying to pull onto the inside of Joe Tardif, and he is going to make that pass. Right there, Joe Tardif's going to try to go right back to the inside.
It's like deja vu, man. We just saw that move just a second ago.
Really good racing going on right there. Bill Gentry sitting there. He is now in 4th place. Big mover tonight, up 10 spots. He's got Brandon Trush and Steven Bonomo both a lap down. They're the lap down cars behind Jamie Horn. But they're all riding alongside one another, trying to figure out what the plan of attack is going to be. Checking up at the front again on our race leaders. Frank Marchese able to get a little bit of separation off of that 33 of Hunter Simpson here. About 0.3 of a second currently.
And you got to think, if both of these guys have to pit again, why not just burn it up until you get there?
Mm-hmm.
Knowing that your pit cycle is coming up pretty soon.
Yeah.
About-
And we got Joe Tardif making his pit stop.
Joe Tardif coming down pit road now. He's going to be giving up that 7th place position to go ahead and go down pit road.
Yeah.
We'll have no problem making it to the end at this point. Just have to be able to see if he's able to drive that thing back up to the front. Incredibly fast car for Joe Tardif here tonight.
I do want to check in with Zachary Baker. See, just kind of pops the wall right there to see just about where he is. In comparison, I know we're still sitting a lap down. So he will have to make his way around the leaders and then back around again to get that 1st place spot when the leaders do pit, which will be coming up pretty soon, I feel like, in the next 5 to 10 laps.
The end of this race is going to be really exciting. We're coming down to 25 laps to go here. Actually, we're past 25 laps, excuse me. We're 24 laps to go at this point. But man, is this going to be exciting.
His lap times are a little bit better than our leaders right now, but it's not enough to make up the ground that he lost right before that pit stop.
Yeah, I'm looking at the deltas now at the bottom right of your screen if you're watching at home. Looks like Zachary Baker has only made up about 0.3 on the leader since he has pitted, or in the last 6 laps at least.
He does have a teammate there right beside him. That's Joe Tardif, who just got off of pit road. Joe Tardif, obviously, on those very fresh tires, able to go around pretty quickly. I'm sure his teammate let him go ahead and go back to work there. But very curious to see what ends up happening with our other drivers out there. We've got 6 cars on the lead right now. 3 of them you see, or excuse me, 2 of them you see in that battle up there at the front. You've seen Frank Marchese and Hunter Simpson going back and forth for the better part of the last 20 laps here. Jamie Horn is up there. He is the first car a lap down, either trying to get his lap back the hard way.
Got Bill Gentry trying to look to the inside of Brandon Lopez. Lopez trying to cut him off. I know these guys are probably in the same voice chat with each other as well.
Frank Marchese's bringing it down pit road.
Which means Jamie Horn will get his lap back here.
Now is where the strategy is going to start coming into play here. Frank Marchese going ahead and bringing it down pit road here.
Yeah, it looks like Bill Gentry did clear Brandon Lopez. Lopez looking to the inside, not going to be able to get it. Bill letting stay in that middle lane there.
Hunter Simpson bringing it down. So that is going to give the lead to Mr. Bill Gentry.
I wonder if any of these guys will be bold enough to try to do a 2-tire stop right here. Try to, 'cause it's not a ton of time left, and we saw the older tires maintain earlier. But we'll just have to wait and see.
Only
Most
20
of these guys,
laps left to go here.
my guess is there will still be a lot of 4-tire stops. We'll see. Maybe someone else will do it.
Gary Armijo going ahead and bringing it down here. Race lead is still going to belong to Mr. Bill Gentry.
Frank was able to stay in front of Hunter Simpson through that pit cycle right there. And he cleared him by a good bit. Getting to the pits 1 lap before him made a big difference right there.
Jamie Horn was able to get his lap back over the course of those pit stops. Brandon Trush now going to be your first car a lap down, currently sitting in the 6th position. But he is that car that you see right behind the 34 of Bill Gentry. The number 9 of Steve Bonomo there is in 7th place, and the number 5 of Brandon Lopez is your 2nd place driver currently. What a strategy play by these guys out here tonight. If this doesn't have you at the edge of your seat, trying to figure out who's going to be able to pull this thing off, I do not know what will. Brandon Lopez coming over the radio announcing his pit stop. Bill Gentry still out in front of this race now. Brandon Trush sitting there right behind him. Neither Brandon Trush or Steve Bonomo is for position right now. 2nd place is currently going to belong to Kirby Wainscott, who's back there in that number 10 car.
Bill
Gentry brings it down pit road.
You gotta think a lot of this is gonna shake up too. A lot of these guys are still have to pit. Some guy that does not have to pit is Zachary Baker. Heard it from his Larry Mack crew chief Greg McConey that he is good to go to the green. And he's going to give it everything she's got to get there. Trying to pick up a win in the Knapp Daddy Racing League here for the Engine 4 Coffee Company 225.
Yeah, just seeing the different strategies that have played out over the course of the night between what we saw Trash Panda Autosport doing on that last caution before we had that restart, and then what Jamie Horn, Steve Bonomo, and Brandon Trush have been doing all night as far as playing their strategy. Just so interesting to kind of figure out what everybody is doing here tonight. Steve Bonomo coming over the radio saying that he's going to be bringing it down.
Trying to see what Jamie's going to do
hard
here.
left turn.
Jamie Horn, 2-tire stop, and he is back out on the track.
everything just continuing to shuffle out as these drivers bring it down pit road. I see Brandon Trush calling out that he's going to be bringing it down onto pit road here this next time by as he starts to slow down. Make that hard left turn. Race leader is going to be number 10, Kirby Wainscott. Not sure how much gas he has left in the tank, but that is going to be a lap led for the number 10 car.
Yeah, he's going to have to pit at some point. Last pit stop, as you can see on the right side of your screen, lap 94. Haven't seen anybody stretch it past 129 who put it on lap 4. Or lap 94. Actually, Gary Armijo, lap 131. Bill Gentry a few laps after that, so he can stretch it just a little bit, but I think he might be pitting here soon, if not right now, as I say it.
Right now, yep. He's bringing it on in.
Kirby Wainscott bringing it down pit road right now. That is going to reshuffle things again here on lap 140 after we cross the stripe here.
Yeah, you see a lot of these guys hopping back on the lead lap now that Wainscott bringing it down.
Wainscott had a very short stop.
He may have just took fuel, but I don't think it's going to be fast enough to beat these guys out. Frank Marchese coming around right now, going to take that race lead right back.
Like that strategy, though.
It might not get him the win, but it might get him a podium finish right here. So it's going to hold on for 10 laps.
10 laps
some
to
motor
go
tires.
here. 10 laps left to go here in the Engine 4 Coffee Company 225 here in the Knapp Daddy Cup Series. Racing at Kentucky Speedway. What a race it has been after things start shaking out. Following all of those green flag cautions that had to come here late in the race, only 9 laps to go. Frank Marchese, your race leader. Hunter Simpson going to be sitting in second place. Kirby Wainscott, after the gas and go pit stop, able to come back off of pit road and still be in third place. Joe Tardif going to be in fourth right now. Brandon Lopez is going to be fifth. Bill Gentry riding in sixth place right now. Zach Baker in seventh. Gary Armijo 8th, and Jamie Horn 9th.
Yeah, Jamie Horn back on the lead lap. Still 26 seconds behind, but able to get that lap back. Gary Armijo having a good run here tonight, trying to chase down the bumper of Zachary Baker.
Lots of big moves out of guys tonight to get themselves to their position on the track. I mean, Frank Marchese started 8th. He's been really, really great all night long, and obviously sitting up there in first right now. Bill Gentry started 14th up to 6th place. The same for Gary Armijo, started 15th up to 8th. Lots of good runs out of these guys tonight.
See Lopez chasing down Joe Tardif here. Tardif, your pole winner. Almost by about a 10th. I think it was a 10th.
Yeah, just over a 10th, actually. Jamie Horn had just come in, got the pole position, and then Joe Tardif comes out there, puts down a burner of a second lap to get himself to pole position. Had a really, really fast car all night long. All the different strategies, though, coming into play tonight. Definitely making for a very exciting race and making it way less important about where you qualified and way more important about when you came down pit road and what your strategies were. As we have 6 to go as they cross the stripe.
Lopez not able to complete the pass on that run. Going to sit back, get the tires a little cooler, and try it again here in a few to try to take away that 4th place spot from Joe Tardif.
Still got Frank Marchese leading this thing right now. He has got just under a second of a lead on Hunter Simpson. 8/10 was the lead last time by. Kirby Wainscott, after the gas and go pit stop, is sitting only 1.5 seconds off of the lead. And I mean, Joe Tardif would have to get over 6 seconds to get up to the car of Kirby Wainscott. I think Kirby Wainscott might have gas and goed himself into a podium spot.
That was a great strategy call. I wonder. I'm not even sure where he was running before that stop. That was a great decision.
He was
Again, it
leading the
might
race.
not. Well, like before the pit stop cycle began.
Yeah, before the cycle, yeah. He was, I believe he was a little bit further back. I'm not really sure exactly what
was.
position, but I do not think he was in the top 5 when that cycle started. So, I mean,
Great decision.
he just chess matched his way checkmate to the podium. If he can hold on to it for a few more laps.
7th, I believe. I think he was the last car on
Brandon Lopez getting really close to Joe Tart if you're trying to complete that pass. Bill Gentry behind. Bill's been fast all night long. I think he likes this track. Slide job right in front of Joe Tardif.
Joe's not going to like that.
I don't think he is either.
Good move out of Brandon Lopez, though, with the slide job, able to get around Joe Tardif. Bill Gentry looking for his opening as well. Only 3 laps left to go in this race. Hunter Simpson has made up a 10th. 0.7 seconds the lead last time by. They crossed the stripe. 2 laps to go now. Lap 49 of 150 here at the Engine 4 Coffee Company 225 at Kentucky. Hunter Simpson able to make up another 10th, lead 0.65 seconds for Frank Marchese. Is he going to be able to hold off a hard-charging Hunter Simpson? Both guys been so fast tonight. We saw them battle for so many laps on that long green flag run we had. White flag is in the air. Frank Marchese made up a 10th on that lap. Hunter Simpson 0.7 of a second behind. Frank Marchese still comfortably in the lead there. Kirby Wainscott still has a comfortable lead over Brandon Lopez. I think he might have worked his way into a podium finish. But the top of the podium is going to go to Mr. Frank Marchese, your winner here at the Engine 4 Coffee Company 225 at Kentucky. Strategy was rolled, strategy was played, and the winner is Frank Marchese. Hunter Simpson going to finish second. Kirby Wainscott going to bring it home in third. Brandon Lopez going to finish 4th. William Gentry, Bill Gentry finishing 5th. Joe Tardif is going to finish 6th. Zachary Baker in 7th. Gary Armijo comes home in 8th. Jamie Horn 9th. Brandon Trush 10. Steve Manomo 11. Kinsley Smith and Justin McMahon are 12th and 13th. And Dagan Barnes coming home in 14th. Little love tap there from Joe Tardif for his teammate Frank Marchese, who is able to get it done here tonight, and he pulls up. Love tap from Bill Gentry. Apologize, that's not Bill Gentry, that's Zachary Baker. That's the teammates parked side by side.
Here
there.
Comes
You
Joe.
see Joe Tardif trying to get it spun around.
Skirt.
Not sure how much gas those guys have left in the car.
He was trying to get that John Deere Green Award too.
Oh, here you go. This is a photo moment for the...
There's the photo moment for the Trash Panda Auto Sport guys. Greg McConey in the comments. Let's go, Frank. TPA puts 3 in the top 7. Big run for the Trash Panda Auto Sports guys here tonight, as Frank Marchese parks it right there on the checkered line. Big win for him tonight. What a run by all of these guys. All the different strategies, all the different thoughts you had to put into when you were going to pit and what you were going to do. Frank Marchese comes out the top of the heap tonight, beating out Hunter Simpson, who was battling all night long. What a run both of those guys had here tonight. And Kirby Wainscott with some last-second pit road strategy, able to get himself a third-place finish as well.
Yeah, man, that was an incredible run. Before I get these guys up here and for these Pot 3 interviews, why don't you tell us about our sponsor?
More than happy to do that. Again, little shameless self-promotion moment, but as you've heard us saying, this is the Knapp Daddy Cup Series. Knapp Daddy Racing was started just last year as a iRacing design shop. We've now tried to become your one-stop shop for any and all things iRacing, not just the broadcast booth, but you can head on over to our website at knapdaddyracing.com to check out all of the different custom designs, templates, logos you can get made, anything your heart desires. You can check it out over on our website. You can also pick up some free templates as well on the website, and there is no better price than free. And even if you're not really into iRacing, you can pick up a t-shirt or a hat. Help support the boys, help support the brand. We appreciate it so much. You can also check us out on all of our social media, everything at Knapp Daddy Racing. You can catch us live on TikTok as often as we possibly can. You can catch us here every single Monday night for the Knapp Daddy Cup Series. So make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss a second of the action. Thank you to everyone for joining us here tonight. What a turnout we had and what a race we had. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And then once again, shout out to our race sponsor here tonight, Engine 4 Coffee Company. Engine 4 Coffee Company is a firefighter-owned coffee brand that cares about where they source their beans as well as the taste of the coffee. I drink it myself every morning, so I can attest to how good it is. You can feel good not only about where your coffee comes from, but that you are supporting a good cause. Be sure to check out their website, engine4coffeecompany.com. I know they're updating their website right now, but they will be back and better than ever here very, very shortly. You can also check them out on Instagram. I can personally recommend it very highly. So if you want to drink a good cup of coffee in the mornings and support a good cause, check out Engine 4 Coffee Company. And thank you once again to them for stepping up and sponsoring this race for us tonight here at Kentucky.
Well, with that said, I don't know if we're going to have our entire top three up here in the waiting room, but we will have at least the man I know everybody wants to see, Frank Marchese, sitting here waiting for his interview. I'm going to go ahead and pull up Frank Marchese here. Frank, you got a copy of this in the booth?
I do, guys. How you doing?
Good, man. How are you doing?
Oh, a lot better than I thought I was going to be a couple hours ago.
Yeah, well, just an incredible run here. A lot of strategy that came into play tonight, but talk to us through this race, what the strategy was, what the thought process was coming into this race.
I honestly had no idea what to expect coming into this race. I knew I liked Kentucky. It was a good track for me, but with how off the pace I seemed in practice, I didn't think this was going to be happening. And then the pitch strategy that got us a stage win. Feel awful for Kensley, one of our teammates. Feel awful for him that he had to pit on that last lap before the stage. But to get a stage win was shocking for me. And then the way this all played out, the 3 was a tough but fair competitor the whole race. Same thing with the 33, tough but fair, and the 48 as well. I mean, this was just so unexpected, and I'm at a loss right now.
Yeah, we've seen to manage it very well out there. You and Hunter Simpson going at it for quite a while. I mean, how were you able to hold him off and maintain the tires underneath it to finish this race out?
Tires were actually quite nice tonight, and that middle line was just so good. It's one of the things with these cars. The aero wash gets a little rough, so you got to find a lane outside of where everyone else is running to try to gain run and gain a momentum. And did that earlier in the run by going to the wall to get around him before the caution between me and the 3, and then just being able to get back out ahead of him, get to his outside was so crucial. And being able to hold it there was fantastic. It just a great racer that 33 is. That was a really fun race.
Absolutely. Well, I'm trying to pull up my schedule here because we're going next week to Dover. A little bit different of a track, pretty fast, quick, short track. What's your thoughts on Dover?
Fun racetrack. I mean, solid runs. It's going to be about staying on the bottom, trying to not hit the wall because those things jump out at you very, very quick, especially out of 4. Just do what we can, and hopefully we end up in the same place we ended up tonight.
Yes, sir. Well, congratulations on the run. P1 for you here. Going to move you pretty high up in the points in this short season, so every win is a huge deal. But before I let you go, any sponsors or shout outs you want to give?
Thanks, first of all, to Greg, who co-owns Trash Panda Autosport with me. He's the one that made these cars, his company, Midwest Motor Customs. I'm not sure. I'm not well versed on the sponsors for this series, which I know is very bad on me, but thank you to all of them. And thank you to the team. Thank you to our guys, Joe Tardif and Zach Baker. We were communicating, telling each other which lines were working, which ones weren't, who was running what gear throughout the race. And that was one of the most complete team races that I've run in a very, very long time. So thank you to those guys. And again, I'm just stunned to be where I am right now with this win, and with everything that, going back to Sunbelt, with everything that we've gone through with the computer troubles and all that, having good runs and disconnecting from the computer crashes. I'm very, very happy to say that it's all in the past now, and damn, the future looks bright.
Happy to hear about it, man. We knew if you could just get that stuff fixed up and everything, we could see you out there at the front. It seemed like not the skill, but the equipment kind of held you down for a while, but now it's fixed. Obviously, this is where we expect to see you at a lot more this season.
Yeah, I can't wait for the rest of the season now.
Yes, sir. Well, congratulations again on the win. Have fun celebrating, and we will hope to see you up here again next week.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate it.
Have a good one. It's going to be Frank Marchese, your winner, and we do have your third and second place drivers up here. I was looking at a different waiting room that we have setting up, but going to pull up your third place finisher here next in Kirby Wayne Scott, who strategized his way here to the end for a podium spot. Kirby, you got a copy of this in the booth?
I got you.
Well, hey Kirby, man, what a strong finish there. How early in the race were you planning that gas and go there at the end? That was a great decision.
I was playing the fuel game the first caution, lap 17. I kind of had an idea. I'm like, all right, if it stays green from here, this is what I can do. And I was 3 to the good to make it to the end, and then that caution came out with like 50 something to go, because I knew I'd have enough gas to make it to the stage. And then I think 4 guys stayed out on that first caution, and I knew they weren't going to be able to make it, so I was just cruising. And then I think everybody ran out as soon as the stage ended. I still had like 2.5 laps to the good, but yeah, I was playing the fuel game the entire race, because I didn't have the pace they did on the new tires on the short run, but I had a really good long run car, so got to play the strategy.
Yeah, it was a great decision. I was watching you, and I was watching all the strategy take place there on that last stop, and I was really hoping that someone was going to do 2 tires or gas only. And then when you did it, I was so proud. I was like, there it is. There's someone that's making up a strategy to make up some ground, and I was very impressed. It was a great run right there. Is there any sponsors or shout outs you want to give here?
I just want to give you guys a shout out. I mean, I watched the race from last week. I always like to go back and rewatch the broadcast and everything, and you guys are doing a great job. And you guys are doing a good job so far with the league, and I appreciate it, and I'm having a lot of fun racing.
Yeah, we appreciate you too, Kirby, and we're glad to see that strategy pay off and you come in here with a great run and a podium finish here.
Thank you all very much. I appreciate it.
Going to be Kirby Wayne Scott finishing in third place tonight at his hometown track, Sparta, Kentucky. I was about to say Spartan, Kentucky, but that's a little bit 300, and this is Kentucky. So Yeah, I think you sent a message in the Discord earlier about the weather they were having out there. A little rainy out in real Kentucky today, but here at the racetrack, nice and beautiful, and obviously playing well for the fuel strategy for Kirby Wainscott. So good to see him pick up a P3 off a beautiful strategy. And to be fair, Baker, if you would have told me that to just take fuel, I would have never done it. So somebody listened to you and it worked out. We'll chalk that one up, 1 for Baker. Look, coming up next, I do have Hunter Simpson going to be your second place finisher here tonight. So I pull him up here. Hunter, you got a copy list in the booth?
I got you.
Hey, Hunter, you got Hunter up here in the booth, man. What a run for you here tonight, getting P2. Talk me through that battle that was going on there. You and Frank Marchese were going back and forth, it seemed like all night. I know it kind of came down to pit road strategy. Talk me through those last, let's call it 20, 25 laps with the last pit stop and trying to run him back down. Just talk me through what was going through your mind at that point.
Well, I had a slow pit road, adventure. So I came out of the pits behind him by like 1.8 seconds. So I knew I just had to drive hard just to get up there, and just didn't drive hard enough, I guess.
It was still a really good run for you tonight, man. Did you have a pit road strategy coming in here? Did that kind of evolve as the race was going on? You know, once you kind of saw what was going on after that first stage, where I mean, there was people running out of gas when they were coming across the stripe. How did kind of your thoughts or strategies evolve at that point?
Well, I know I certainly didn't want to run out of gas. I had a race last Tuesday where I was banking on a caution at the end and it never came. So I knew at that first caution, I think it was 17, 18 laps in, I was going to pit for fuel and just save my tires. Because I figured there'd be more tire fall off. You know, I knew people would drive hard up top, but I figured it would hurt them deeper into the run more than it did. And I was just trying to save tires on the bottom, and it just was not the strategy. But on that one stage caution, I had 0.2 laps left going into my pit box, and because I
Oh
was
my
clutching, I missed my whole pit box, and that set me back. But I just had to make sure I was going to make it, because if I didn't, my whole race would have been over. So it adapted as I went along, but it's my first time in the league. Thank you all for setting this up. It's been a blast so far, so I was just trying to get back into the feel of the car.
Well, hey man, we're happy to have you, and to come out here and get yourself a P2 on night one is certainly nothing to shake a stick at. And we're going to Dover next week. How do you feel about Dover, and how do you feel about your chances over there? Hopefully, we get to get 200 Simpson appearances, 2 in a row in a week.
That's very rare, but we'll see what I can do. I'd love to race next week, but it depends. I race go-karts in real life, so that kind of takes priority most times, because I'm trying to be serious with that, and I got this going on, and so I love when I'm able to show up and race with you guys and in Doghouse. Love all of my teammates. I appreciate all of them, and they have a blast. And I have a blast with them, even though most of the time I'm just the butt of the joke. But
Well, you're not the butt of the joke here tonight, man. You got second place. I mean, any other sponsors or shout outs you want to give before we get you out of here to go celebrate the second place?
I want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, SSR Designs, Knapp Daddy Racing League. Thank you all the admins, broadcasts. I mean, I know y'all set it up, but thank you. Thank you for doing it all. Thank you for just everything you do. I appreciate all of you so much. All my teammates, all my family watching on TV, all 57 of my siblings, just everybody.
Well, buddy, we appreciate you from one hunter to another. We appreciate you and your performance here tonight. Congratulations on your second place, and hopefully we get to see you next week. And if not, then we'll see you next time we see you.
Y'all have a good night. Thank y'all so much.
All right,
Take care, man.
So.
It's going to be Hunter Simpson coming out here first time tonight, finishing P2. And boys, correct me if I'm wrong, but I went 2 for 3 tonight.
I believe you did go 2 for 3 tonight,
did.
sir.
I mean, they're not in the right order, but I'm not afraid to move the goalpost right now.
No, and you could have had their tire top 3 had it not been for that little incident.
Yeah,
have been.
absolutely, man. But that's just the way it goes. It's a hard one to pick. But man, Frank Marchese coming out here really putting it down tonight. Not in second place, but taking the win here tonight at Kentucky for the Engine 4 Coffee Company 225. Super cool to see him get a win. I know he's got a big fan base out there that's looking every week to see what he's going to do. And again, we said it this whole league. We said it all in the Sunbelt League. Man, if Frank just gets that internet fixed, that man's fast. That man can put it down, and he certainly did tonight. So I really expect Frank to be up here in the booth a lot more as the season rolls on. Finishing second place, Hunter Simpson coming through here in first night in, throwing it down, coming in second place. I knew he was going to be fast here. I think he likes this track just a little bit. I think he's out there around that Kentucky area. I'm not really sure. Maybe Atlanta, or not Atlanta, Georgia. But and then the hometown track.
Georgia, Kentucky, same thing.
I mean, they're all close, you know. Like I don't know. It's kind
It's a
of
state.
yeah, the southeast. And Kirby Wainscott, who is from Kentucky, Sparta, Kentucky, finishing up MP3 here. So we pull up the final results for the rest of the race. I know we were missing some guys like Daniel Wilkerson out here tonight. I didn't see Christian Morris in our standings here tonight either. And Thomas McLaughlin as well, not out here, but hopefully you'll get those guys back in next week. Greg McConey coming back next week too, sure to put on a good show. But finishing in fourth place tonight, Brandon Lopez. Fifth place, Bill Gentry had a fast car all night. Joe Tardif, your pole winner, finishing sixth place tonight. Zachary Baker, teammates with Frank Marchese. Joe Tardif finishing seventh. Gary Armijo in eighth. Jamie Horn in ninth. Brandon Trush in 10th. Stephen Bonomo 11th. Kinsley Smith in 12th. Justin McMahon 13th. Dagan Barnes in 14th. And Hunter Foley, you do not race.
I don't. I was having some trouble. My iRacing was not wanting to agree with me tonight and agree with me wanting to spectate. So, you know, you do what you have to do. Got to be able to see the cars go in circles to be able to talk about the cars going in circles.
Yeah, we do what we have to do here, but that is going to be just about it for us tonight. You can join us right here next week, same time, same place. Going to be starting at 8:15, going to Dover. Sure to be a good one as we get kicking off week 3 of this 10-race series. These drivers battle it out, try to get to week 7 where the playoffs will begin. The top 12 in points will go to the playoffs. They will battle it out for 3 races and then go down to the final race. Will be the top 6 battling out for a championship, some prize money here, and some other cool things. And I mean, we're all being real. Like, the trophies are what we're here for. The money's cool. The trophy is what we're here for. So, trying to work out some things, get a cool trophy for these guys. But be sure to check us out there. Make sure you like, subscribe. There's a lot of other racing action going on this week. Want to give a big shout out to the Doghouse Racing League. A lot of those guys come over here and support us. I know they are racing tomorrow night. It's their last race of the ARCA series. That's going to be on Intensity Broadcasting at 7:45 Eastern on YouTube. And then on Thursday night, it's Doghouse Racing TV. They're in their playoffs right now. You'll see a lot of these same guys out there. I think all of them are actually in the playoffs. So
You'll hear some of the same voices too.
yeah, we will be there. That's going to start at 7:45 on Doghouse Racing TV. As those guys head out to Bristol, sure to be a good one. But other than that, any final thoughts?
It's just a
Just-
really fun race to watch, man.
Let's
gonna
start talking.
We're gonna work on that. Just a really fun race to watch, man. It was the strategies that these guys had to pull to be able to finish where they did. Was just really fun to watch. So many different cars were fast. I mean, there were 5 different guys that could have won this race tonight, and cool to see Frank Marchese get his first one in the Knapp Daddy Racing League. Hunter Simpson was right there. I know he does some racing in real life, so he's going to be kind of in and out, but good to see him. Kirby Wainscott, I know Baker was talking about it a little bit, but to see someone kind of pull that last second pit road strategy, just super cool. I mean, we love stuff like that, and it was just a really fun race to watch, man. So many different things going on. Really clean race, too, for the most part. I think we only had 2 yellows that we had to throw other than the competition. Just get this field a little bit bigger and do more of that, and might just have us a hit on our hands.
Mhm. It was a great race. And just something I was looking at afterwards is Frank led 2 more laps than Jamie Horn. Jamie Horn dominated that first stage of the race until strategy just kind of bit him the wrong way, unfortunately. He, Brandon Trush, and Stephen Bonomo all had really fast cars and had a lot of track position there at the beginning, but their strategy just didn't pan out for them in the end. And I like to see that, not necessarily not panning out for them, but just a good strategy race where, you know, there's you gotta have a lot of speed, but you also gotta have a lot of good strategy to take care of your car and bring it home in the end. And that's what these top three did. They had a lot of great strategy, but also had some really fast lap times too.
Absolutely. And I think a third, fourth thing you could add on to that, it's a little bit of luck has to come into play with some of the cautions coming out and how it works out, but that's just racing and that's how it goes. I know that if you're looking for all four of those things, I usually fall short on the luck, skill, and talent part. But other than that, sometimes I have a pretty decent strategy, but if you don't have all four, you can't really win it. So that's generally where I fall short. But with that said, that's going to be just about it for us tonight. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. I'm going to go check in on my fantasy team with the Detroit Lions. Hopefully St. Brown got me 10 points so I can pick up my win for myself here. But other than that, for the last time, I've been John.
And I've been Hunter.
I'm Baker.
We will see you guys next time.
Take care, everybody.